What is going on, everyone? I'm here with Sean Coleman of Cosmic Color in Ohio. Welcome, my friend. Good to have you on.
Appreciate it, Tanner.
So you've heard a couple of these podcasts before. I usually start off like this, man. Tell me what's going super well. What are you happy with? And what's an area that you're ready to crank up in 2022?
Awesome. Appreciate that. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, sure.
You know, what am I happy with? I'm self-employed. I'm a single guy doing it solo. I bring a lot of experience from painting world. I bring a lot of sales and customer service experience from other industries.
Love it.
So I'm bringing that all together, and that's the best thing.
Has it always been your dream to be self-employed?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And especially working in sales, that's the next step. It's like what did you do in sales? What was your
well, as far as I'm concerned, I've been selling myself in any job that I've ever done, but primarily Verizon cellular sales. And then I got into tech support.
Nice.
I've done nationwide claims as far as total loss adjuster. So plenty of sales inside of the total loss automobile adjustment. So and stuff like that. Yeah.
Cool. So that's awesome. So a lot of experience, a lot of customer service. You know how to talk, right? That's important. So let's go to the flip side. You got your business now. How long have you been in business?
So I officially started it August 2019.
Okay.
And I was working for a guy hourly. I was doing everything from being handed the contract. He didn't even talk to the customer. I did the job with one other guy, closed it all out, got the paycheck, and delivered it back.
What made you leave? Why did you quit?
Because he was only paying me $20 an hour, and I was doing everything from communicating with the customer, going to the store, getting the paint, doing the job, closing the job, getting the money.
Honest question here. Had he have came to you and offered you one of two things, over appreciation and gratitude, or a little more pay, would you have stayed?
Absolutely.
And he didn't do either.
He's good.
He didn't do either.
He didn't do either. So he said, "What do you want?" So I made a proposal, thinking we'd negotiate the amount a little bit, but it was more about, hey, you're doing all this work for me. Here's some appreciation. Here's what I can do for you. No, I can't do that. I talked to my accountant. I can't do that for you. I said, okay, here's my 2-week notice. I'm going on my own. He said, what do you mean? I said, I fired up my LLC. I'm ready to go. He said, oh, I'll subcontract to you.
Unbelievable. So yeah, unbelievable. So how about this? That was probably the absolute best learning experience that you'll ever get in business is not what you learned on the job. It's how that person made you feel.
Right.
That's it. I mean, honestly, and I'm saying this and I'm emphasizing this because there are phenomenal employees out there that would probably rather stick around and work for you and help build your business. But if you don't offer one of those two things, it's good to offer both.
Yeah.
What reason do they have to stay?
Exactly. Wow. And I knew his contracts to tell me that you can't pay me $25 an hour, dude.
Yeah, he didn't talk to his accountant about that. What accountant would say, "Yeah, man, we can't swing an extra $200 a week, man. It's gonna crush you this year."
Yeah, I can pay somebody $20 an hour with no experience. Come on, man.
Oh my goodness, what a bogus response. So. Hey, but I think a blessing in disguise is what I think it was. You're here now, and I think there's many people that could benefit from you. So you've been in business since 2019, and it's now 2022. You're still working alone. I don't know if you're hitting a stage of, I need some help, or you're hitting a stage of bring it on. I'll do everything myself. What's happening here? Why are you working alone?
So, well, for one, with all that experience, upcoming March, I'm going to be very blessed to make it to March 4th. I'll be 12 years sober, Tanner.
Congratulations, man.
Thank
you. Amazing.
Appreciate that. We can talk for hours on that.
I would love to have a separate one day to hear that journey. I think that's amazing because you come from a place of what many people consider rock bottom. And the idea of going from there to getting a job is a huge accomplishment. Being accepted in the marketplace, and then look at you now. You have the potential to become an employer. That's huge, man. Congrats.
And thank you. And overcoming the stereotype as a painter.
Sure.
I've seen all from in the 90s, early 2000s, and now the different type of demographic and the type of guys that come into the business. there's still that stereotype. So I try to use that as to my advantage as a sales technique to reiterate that I'm responsible. I'm going to show up on time. I'm going to follow through on what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah,
still
it's important to you.
Quality product. Yeah. So for me, that ties in with not being able to find guys that I really click with. I like to throw the radio on and get lost in the work. I'm not here to talk. Now, if somebody needs trained, that's a different story. We're talking about work. We're moving towards the ultimate goal. But I don't like the chit chat.
Would you agree that there's a such thing as the right customer for you?
Yeah.
From being in business long enough, you identify, sometimes you go to an estimate, you say, you know what, it would probably be better if I did not take this one.
Absolutely. I'm doing a job right now where I wish I would have said that.
Wish you would have said that to yourself, but beginning of the year, hey, get this one on the schedule, working through it. Got it.
Yep.
Well, the reason why I'm saying this is because you do so many estimates over a period of time, you have the luxury to pick and choose, right? You can kind of see what you like, what you don't like. And even at my stage in business, I kind of say, you know what? I don't really want this job. It's not my job. Yep. I'd rather go to a job. Perfect job for me is a full interior, empty, ceiling walls, trim doors, you know, 5 days on the schedule for the guys. We're cooking, you know, those are the best.
Blow it out. Yeah.
They don't always happen that way. I always take a really nice customer, but now we're at a place where we can pick and choose. Why? Because we have so many options. We do a lot of estimates, just like you're doing in you know, relativity to your level in business. Maybe you do 3 or 4 estimates a week. Maybe is that kind of where you're at?
Not even right now.
Not even right now.
It slowed and paused for me. This law, especially being in Ohio, winter months, it's cutthroat. A lot of
but on a busy cycle, it's
on a busy cycle,
2,
I'm
3, 4.
3. Yep.
Okay. So the reason why I say that is because how many interviews have you done
for employees?
Yeah.
0.
Right. So in the same way we interview our customers to have us come over and do an estimate, the law of averages are at play when it comes to finding the right person that you're looking for when it comes to interviewing. And I think that like let's get rid of some of the preconceived notions as to why you can't hire. Let's get rid of those, because that's going to be really important. And I know, you know, the value of finding help, right? Because you're doing everything right now. Let's walk through real quick. Let me just make sure you understand what you're doing every day. So number one, you're responsible for all customer communication in the business. You have to follow up. You've got to make sure that you're keeping in touch with them. If you run late on an appointment, you have to make sure that you're sending them a text message or an email. I know you take a lot of pride in communication because you're customer service. You know, that's like one of the most important things. So that's one area. Area number 2 is you're picking up the product. You're going to the paint store in the morning. Sometimes you have to sit in line. If you didn't order it the day before, you got to sit there and wait for it to be mixed, right? You got to sit there and mingle and wait. Okay. So from there, you got to drive your butt to the job, and then you got to do the actual work and act in accordance to how that customer feels, right? So all that is accumulating tons of times throughout your day. Then you got to do the sales, the invoicing, the estimating. You got to keep track of invoices. You have to do the scheduling because you got to make sure that people are in touch with when you schedule them, and then you have to answer the phone, and then all of this stuff. It seems like you can never get out of there.
Never. Never.
Is that what's happening?
I've got a great drive to where I want to say, hey, I can do this until I die. All alone, no problem. I'll make a good living. But the reality of it is everything that you just said. Why?
Right. You know why though? And you know? And I can't help but utilize something that you've accomplished that many people strive to, and that's sobriety for 12 years. What that was for you before then was unfamiliar territory, sobriety. Unfamiliar territory. It really was in that moment. It was a world that you didn't know existed or you could actually experience in your mind at that time before you committed to it and you worked on it. It was something that you couldn't even see. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
You couldn't see waking up and living in a sober state of mind and functioning like a normal human.
It was not a possibility. Right.
And in the same breath, I'm telling you that the next stage for you is unfamiliar territory. The next stage for you is saying, you know what, I need to get above my business. Because right now you're in your business, you're underwater, you know, you're underwater right now. You need to get above your business. You got to get on top of it so you can look down and see, okay, now I can refine. You can't refine anything right now. You're in just processes and systems mode. You're like one of them horses right now that are just running. And you're not seeing where you're going. Right. I'm laying the foundation on this because I want you to understand that you've got to learn the skills of hiring. It's a skill set, just like it is painting. Would you believe that?
Absolutely.
It's a skill to be able to identify talent, to be able to recruit talent, to be able to nurture talent, right?
Yeah.
Those three areas. And you need to start small. I think one thing that many people in your position fear is that you can't keep the person busy enough to keep them
having enough cash flow to make them keep coming back to work every day.
Sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Sure. That's a big fear. That's something that you say, you know what? I can't see myself taking that risk right now, unfamiliar territory.
Right.
But wasn't it risky for you the day you said that you're going to quit your job?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, you're already in risk mode. You're already living in risk as a business owner.
I feel like in constant survival mode. How do I level up?
Everything's risky.
Right.
So you know what?
No guarantees in life.
It'll never stop, brother. The risks never stop, dude. Every time you decide to make a new hire as you grow your business, it's risky. Can I afford this person? Can I keep them busy? Are they going to be a good fit? Are they going to work out for us? Are they going to help the business? It's never going to stop.
Man, woman, gender neutral, whoever. I know the type of human being that I'm looking for, and I think I have an idea of where to find them. It's just a matter of, like you said, putting that skill to work. Now, I heard, I don't know if it was with Preston or I forget the other guy's name, the other podcast I heard, but you said, $5 a day on Indeed, it's $150 a month. You're always hiring, man. You should always be hiring and putting that out there because you never know that great talent.
You never know when that great talent is. And the thing about it is, it's like, okay, well, we have the great talent and all the applications, but then it gets overwhelming. Then it's like, okay, how do I pick from all these names? And I have to go to work the next day and I have to do this. And I don't have time to sit down and do an interview. And like, it's all these things. Like, so what do we have to do? We have to create what's called a filtering out process. We have to find a way to get every one of those applicants that applied to an area that allows us to easily pluck out the ones that we want to waste our time on. And I'm not saying it's a waste. I'm just saying in that moment, it's an applicant. So it's not, we don't know if they're going to work out. So we have to actually take away time from our processes and our systems to do this. So one of the things that I suggest is on Indeed, you can ask a question. It's a custom question. Okay. And it's like one of the 3 questions you can ask when they apply. So instead of asking, do you have a driver's license and that stuff, that's obviously a given. I ask one question. I say, why are you interested in this position? Ooh. And I base whether or not I reach out to them based on that one question.
Nice.
Some people won't answer it. Some people say, just thought it would be a good job. Some people say, I have a passion for painting. Oh, that's the one I'm interested in.
Yep.
Now from there, I plucked him out. Now I can message him and then send him to the next stage, which is a form to fill out that asks about skill set, painting experience, and some other character questions. Then I look at that form. Okay. And then from there, if I like that form, I reach out to him through an email. I say, hey man, I really liked what I saw. I'd like to invite you to a phone interview. Right. Nice. Yeah. I haven't given an ounce of my physical time yet, bro. And I've made it to this. And now if he agrees to that and messages me back, he's put himself through the process. He's getting a little more excited. Like, okay, this is cool. This is different than what the industry has been giving me. Right. Last step in there is, hey, phone interview. Now we're just kind of getting to know each other a little bit, hearing what the motivations are. I'm so direct in a phone interview. I ask questions that they've never heard before. I say, what wakes you up in the morning? What is that motivation? What are you striving for? I want to know.
Yeah.
Some people, and you get all sorts of answers. I had somebody hang up on me when I asked that question.
Hey, great question.
Guess what? Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for not wasting my time any longer.
Right. Easy. Next.
Hung up on me. I couldn't believe it. I said, really? Really? That was such an intimidating question. And it's not meant to be disrespectful. It's like, listen, if you're not a person that's striving for something, here's an answer I got from my last hire. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
I said, what's waking you up every day? What's your motivation? He told me his son lives in a different state, didn't work out with his ex-wife. And he said, you know what? When my son visits me in Florida, I want to know that he's proud of what his dad accomplished.
Awesome.
I want him to have a nice place to come to. I want him to know that I can buy him what he wants and show him that, he doesn't have to worry about dad here. Dude, when I heard that, I was like, bingo, that's what I want on my team. Bingo.
Yeah.
And I look for those guys and on a biblical sense, fisher of men. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're
Absolutely.
trying to do. And what you're looking for is people. You can't, Sean, you can't build character. Like, you're not in a position right now to be a character building company. You've got to take already built character and nurture that. You can't start with somebody without the intangibles, bro. You won't work. It won't work out.
Okay.
So what we're doing in this hiring process, we just need the people that have the character, that are in a good position, and we can build off of that. When you get to a stage, Sean, where you can nurture character, I don't know if that's a goal for you to help individuals trying to get sober.
Absolutely.
Is that a goal of yours?
Absolutely.
You want to take someone who's trying to better their life, you can see,
to build, because I jumped back into the industry.
I love it. I love it.
It also helped me identify my character flaws, and
here's the
weaknesses,
thing.
my strengths. Absolutely.
Build your business so you're ready for that, so you can spend the time with those individuals. Right now is not the time.
No.
Right now is not the time. You got to get the guys that are already on a good path. Not saying we can't go back and save the ones that need saving. You're just not in a position yet to be doing that, because you just need to focus on getting that system together. But I love that. I think you can do that. Last step of that hiring process, in-person interview. We're talking to them in person, feeling them out. I walked into Starbucks. The guy was sitting there 15 minutes early.
Yeah.
Hanging out, wasn't on his phone playing, just sitting with his hands crossed like this.
I
knew who he was when I walked into Starbucks. Never seen him before. He didn't never seen me. But I did a quick little glance around just to peek and look at demeanor. Sitting there waiting patiently. And I was 10 minutes late on purpose.
That's awesome.
Okay. On purpose. And I texted him to tell him, but I just did that just so I can see, hey, man, I just want to make sure that this person that I'm going to invest my time, my energy, and my resources in, and helping him get to his next stage in life, whether this is just an opportunity to notch on his resume or to help him grow and learn the trade. Hey, if you're getting me, you're getting all of me and everything that I have to offer. I want to make sure that you're ready for it. So what I did was I sat down with him one-on-one, got to know him a little bit, asked him about his experience, asked him about what his previous job was like, asked him about what would make him feel that he would be valued in a company that he's going to work for. So I know what his quote unquote love language is.
Right.
And he told me that his previous boss never showed appreciation, never gave him any opportunity. So I notched these things down as a leader. So I know how to make sure that he feels valued,
Absolutely.
And if you're not asking these questions as a leader, Sean, and the individuals that are going to be working for you, it's going to be hard for you to help them progress. So with all that said, man, what I'm really just trying to help you understand is that you need to do a lot of interviews.
Yeah.
You need to get this process down. You have to be a student of this, just like you were a student of painting.
Yep.
You follow me there?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's great information. I mean, exactly what I was looking for. I can look at all the numbers and, you mentioned 50% profit margin the other day and job costing. And it's like, I can walk into a home, meditate on it. I'll spend 98% with the customer. I won't worry about the numbers and stuff. I'll go home, I'll meditate it, I'll draw it up, I'll email it to them. And usually what I find is I'm pretty close estimating time, and then materials and paint speak for themselves, because you just got to have those numbers. Well, everything's up here. So now I got to get everything on paper, get everything all organized so I can start plugging these numbers in. Like you said, now I've got no overhead because I'm not paying somebody to do that. I've got a system that's working for me.
Correct.
And so my number one goal now is hey, I am hiring. I thought, hey man, I'm going to wait till spring. I'm going to wait till I really start lining my schedule up. No, I need to start hiring now.
You got to hire before you're ready. And I've told people this all the time, even with my other company, DripJobs. I'm not ready to bring on salaried employees, but I have to prepare for the growth. And it has to do with faith and confidence. You've got to believe that this year is going to kick off, bro.
Yeah.
You've got to believe that when that kickoff happens, you're not hiring out of desperation, which is the worst thing you could possibly do.
Yeah.
Now let's go back and address the notion that can't afford them, can't keep them busy. How many consecutive weeks have you worked?
Well, prior to Thanksgiving, I mean, I didn't
have a week off.
I don't remember having a week off.
So first of all, let's talk about your insurance policy. Your insurance policy is this. If you were able to work, then one other person can fill your spot.
Yes.
That would require you to step out knowing that if you were to work, you would finish the job too soon.
Mm-hmm.
Let them get their hours. Go find another job. Then when you find that job, go back in and help. So you might have to play that teeter-totter of, I'm going to walk out on this one. I'm going to be the project manager here. I'm going to oversee and train. I'm not going to touch, because I'm doing this because we don't have enough work for both of us, because we're going to get it done too quick.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So you've got to play that game. The only focus when you bring someone on is to make sure they have their hours, not you making money. Forget about making what you're used to for the first couple months, because guess what you're starting to do? You're making an exchange in the universe. It's called, now instead of trading my time for money, I'm going to trade my money for my time.
And
when you have time, the funny thing about that is that if you do the same thing again, you get more money.
I love it.
But you can only make a certain amount of money if you're trading it. Well, if you're trading your time for it.
I got you.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So there's this transition that has to take place, and it might take you 3 or 4 months where you're thinking, holy smokes, every time I get paid, I got to give it to a painter. Every time I get paid, I got to give it to the paint store. That's called the startup phase. That's called the hustle phase. And what you need to do now is say, okay, well, what did I do to find this great person? Let me do that again. Let me get him some help. Okay. Now you have 2 guys that can complete jobs without you being there. Once you experience that, you're going to be hooked, and you're going to say, okay, I understand now. All I got to do is do it again.
Yep. Copy, cut, paste, repeat.
Copy, cut, paste, duplicate, done deal. Now you're building a leader. Now, when you tell me, I know what type of person that I want, describe that to me, please.
Well, partially, I look for guys who are athletic, guys who wake up in the morning and are motivated.
Sure.
That want to get out there and accomplish something,
sure.
But guys that need that life balance, they don't have a cigarette hanging out of their mouth. Again, I can't judge anybody for anything they've ever done, but I don't want guys coming in hungover.
Sure.
I would prefer sober men and women. I've worked with a couple women that are fantastic.
Sure.
But more artists, like more athletic and artist type of people, like even plucking.
So let's talk about skill set, because I don't think that right now at your stage you have the luxury to find somebody that does not have painting experience.
Right. I don't have time for training.
You don't have time, because what we're doing is we're letting them do the work so we can give them their hours. If you have a newbie, now you're feeling as though you're going to be getting the job done too quick. You're not going to have time to focus and train. And right now you're just not in that position. So what we want to look for is somebody with some sort of painting experience. I think the skill that they need to have is to be able to cut.
Yes, agreed.
Okay. They had to have painted. So when we build out our ad, we need to make sure that we're letting the world know, hey, we're looking for an experienced house painter.
Yep.
How much are you willing to pay for somebody with those qualities that not only brings it to the table in terms of appearance and athleticism in your words, but also comes to the table with a little bit of skill set and also the ability to communicate effectively with your customers?
Yeah.
What is that dollar amount?
So I want to say 25. I want to give somebody that's going to show up on time, follow through.
So here's how you do it. I think it'd be great to start at 20, and when they become autonomous, 25.
25, right? So it's a good starting point. So my question to you, Tanner, is as far as job costing and pricing, how do I build that in? Because if I'm paying myself $25 an hour to do all this work, but I'm charging $55 an hour plus paint is kind of my typical formula that's been working fine for me. Everything's paid for, get a little bit of profit margin, little bit, enough to keep it going. So now
you're going to think I'm crazy here, but like what I think you're doing at this point in time, it's all about a mindset. The mindset goes from I'm selling this job for me to now I'm selling this job for Joe.
Mm-hmm.
That's the mindset, because you need to get in the habit of removing yourself from the production. Right now, you shouldn't be paying yourself to keep your margins where they are and keep the jobs coming in so you guys can practice. Don't pay yourself right now. Just take the profit as a business owner. Okay.
Okay.
I think it would be wise if you feel confident on a job where you know that they're going to go for it, add in your wage as well. If you feel as though that you're building some momentum, but in the beginning, sell the jobs for as close to cost as possible, enough for you to make your living wage to pay your bills.
Yep.
And then the rest, make sure that you have enough to pay your worker for his time, pay off your paint, and then keep doing this system, because you need to go through this process of learning, training, and you need houses to learn and train on. So don't waste your time trying to be overconfident and sell the jobs to make your high wage and his high wage and profit in the beginning. Don't do it.
Gotcha.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It'll come. It'll come, because the next phase after you see this individual work is to find him a helper. Now we don't need someone with experience. You don't. You need somebody that has maybe construction experience or has worked in a different area where you can see that they're hardworking and motivated. And what do they have to do? Roll and prep.
Yep.
So that's something that you're going to be on site teaching and training and nurturing. And my focus for you is to get that team of 2.
Yep.
You just need that team of 2.
Okay.
That's your focus, is to make 2 hires, I think, by the end of January.
Yeah, I like it.
I think that should be your goal. But remember, that first person might take, and get ready for this, it might take 10 phone interviews. That might land you 4 in-person interviews, because on the phone, you're going to hear, hey, hello. You're going to hear, yeah, you know, my other boss, you know, like you're going to hear those guys. And then you're going to, yeah, hi, hey, this is, and you're going to hear a little bit of nerves on the phone. And that's the guy you want to invite to the, you know what I'm saying? So you're going to learn this on that. You got to practice. And I've done this so many times. I've just seen it so many times, is that phone interview is important. So when you do this, it might take 4 in-person interviews. Are you going to be disciplined enough to do it? I believe so.
Yes.
Now that you know the roadmap, and it might take 4 interviews to get you 1 hire. So next time this happens, you can say, all right, I got to gear up for my month of ads, my 10 phone interviews, my 4 in-person interviews, and then my 1 hire to get to that result.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. By the end of the month.
Then the helpers are a lot easier, because again, the skill, the labor pool is going to be a lot
larger. Yes. That makes
for
sense.
the helper. So you might not need to do as many. You just might need to pluck out somebody who comes across as a good person, wants to learn, can clearly demonstrate they can show up on time and represent your brand well.
Nice.
And how cool is it going to be to go to the guy that you bring on, whoever this guy is, and say, hey, listen, because of how hard you're working, I want to get you somebody to make your job easier. So now you can train him. Now he trains him.
Yep.
And now what are you doing? You're out selling and managing and communicating with customers.
Yep.
You're only 2 hires away from freedom, bro.
That's refreshing to hear that. I know it's challenging, and the work's always going to be challenging. And it's
but here's the thing: unfamiliar territory.
I'm so ready.
Bull nose through it. Bull nose through it. Don't care about making money. The money is what's stopping people from making more money.
Yes.
Thinking about the money, thinking about how much money they're going to be losing by having to hire somebody. You're not losing money by hiring.
Honestly,
you're investing.
The next 3 to 5 years, I'll take just what I need. I don't care. That's what I'm saying.
I'm telling you that mindset right there is what's going to get you
to get to there. You know,
to get to there. But here's the flip side.
Yeah.
Here's the flip side, though. Let's see where the stress comes in. The stress is going to come in when the phone doesn't ring. The stress is going to come in when you have no estimates to do. The stress is going to come in where you've promised this person 40 hours a week and no jobs come through.
Where it is.
How do you respond as a leader? You've got to have a strategy.
Yep.
Right now, what is your strategy for work? Where do your jobs come from?
Word of mouth.
Okay. That's a major red flag problem.
I have business cards at Sherwin-Williams. I have a business cards and a little post up here at the local post office.
So in other words, that's called a Hail Mary prayer, that somebody walks by that business card out of the 9,000 business cards that are on the wall there and sees yours. And we all believe that they're going to see yours because we've all made our own business cards and love them and think that they're the best one. And they're going to just snag that golden business card off the wall and be like, you know, and it doesn't happen that way.
No,
so you are not going to survive in this business with employees unless you have an aggressive marketing strategy, which means you have to pay to play.
Okay.
You have got to get comfortable with buying leads.
Yes.
If you want to be able to feel confident about the jobs that are coming in, there's no better feeling than needing a job and getting a notification that a lead just got dropped to you.
There was a company I talked to October-ish, and we were going to touch base in January when my schedule was ready to go.
Skip the line. What you need to do right now is you need to sign up for Angie and Thumbtack. Skip the line.
Yep.
Don't play with those marketers that are going to set you up and all this. There'll be a time and a place for that, but literally you can get leads by the end of today if you call Angie or you sign up for Angie and you sign up for Thumbtack. Sign up for them both. Set a budget of, if you could, $750 to $1,000 for the month. Okay. On interior painting, all you're going to do is tell Angie that you want interior painting leads. There are people right now in your area today that will go on Angie or Thumbtack and they will say, I want an interior estimate. I'm getting requests like crazy because it's the beginning of the year. People want a fresh look, fresh start. Okay. And you're not in the game right now because you're not paying to play.
No, I'm not.
Okay. You're kind of hoping that somebody walks by your business card or gets your number from a customer. And it's not like it used to be 10 or 15 years ago where everyone mingles and exchanges contractor information. Now it's like, okay, if I give you this contractor's name and he doesn't do a good job, you're going to hate me.
Yep.
Is that true?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a little risky giving out that card nowadays, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay.
It is. Have you heard of Painter Choice?
I have. Skip them for right now. I think they're good. In a couple months when you get some momentum, but all they're really doing is putting a Google ad in your area and reselling you the lead for, like everyone's doing. But, again, let's just get the people that are directly going to these lead generators and putting in their information and saying, I want a contractor to call me right now. So in other words, Painter's Choice is just like a Google ad. So they have to go through just a Google ad that grabs their attention, like get a quote from a painter, but Angie and Thumbtack are trusted brands. So in other words, right now, I just believe that for you, it's best to just get on there and just get practice with leads. That's a whole different skill set you're going to have to learn. Again, I've mentioned this. You probably heard it. DripJobs follows up with them. Okay. Automatically for you, picks up the slack. So in other words, if you're painting and you get a lead, you don't have to, drop your brush and call them. DripJobs already send them a text message and an email in seconds to book an appointment with you.
Beautiful.
Pretty cool, right? So
I'm not ready for DripJobs.
It's up to you. Early on, I think everybody is. I built it, so I'm enthusiastic about it. But in other words, if you're buying leads, it's kind of like the insurance policy for the money that you're going to invest in leads. Because in other words, not everyone's going to answer the phone right away. You're going to get a lead that you just spent $70 for, and you're going to try to call them, and they're not going to answer. Why? Maybe they're at work. Maybe they're, I don't know. Maybe the kids started getting crazy when they put in the request. And, they
don't recognize the number.
And they don't recognize the number, and they didn't expect that. But guess what? DripJobs comes in with a text message with your name, address, and then an email with your logo at the top, builds that trust, right? And if they don't book, it sends them another one the next day, and another one the next day, and another one the next day, and another one the next day. So
they have to take action.
And it's asking them to take action.
Not want it. Yeah. Okay.
So are you ready for it? Yeah, I would say, and that's something we can talk about separately. But really what I want you to understand is this. No more limiting beliefs about growth. It's just a mindset. Hey, you know what? I'm going to get leads. I don't care what it costs. I'm going to get it. I'm going to learn how to nurture leads. You've been in sales, so I have no reservations about your ability to be successful here, with or without a nurturing software like DripJobs. But I believe that it would help you. But I'm just saying you're going to be diligent enough to call them right away. You're going to be diligent enough to get on the phone and say, hey, my name's Sean. I got your request from Home Advisor, which is now Angie, reaching out to see what day you would like me to schedule your estimate. We don't call them and say, hey, did you request an estimate on Angie?
Right. No,
you know that, right?
Yeah. No, we don't do that.
No, we don't do that. We assume.
You assume the sale.
Hey, I'm going to be in your area Wednesday. I just want to know what time you'd like me to come out.
Yep.
So these are things that you're going to need to do. And why are you doing this? Because right now it's not anymore about finding jobs for Sean. You can have a conversation with Sean and say, you know what? We didn't get one this week. We're good.
Yep.
Having that conversation with Joe, the new employee, is going to be a lot harder.
Yep.
You want that confidence, man. You want to know that, hey, I got 3 jobs lined up, Joe. We're going to be rocking and rolling. We got this one. We got to go to this one. He's going to be like, damn, all right, this is different than what I'm used to.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So what do you think about all that, man? You think we kind of brought it full circle? Do you think I missed anything?
No, it's fantastic, man. You know, tried not to have too much expectation, but I knew some answers I wanted to achieve today, or some goals, and you hit it right on the head, man.
Sure. So these are just some areas, man. But the crazy thing is like, I want you to picture your business right now like a lawnmower. Okay. And right now you're just pulling that cord, man. You're cranking it up and you're just cranking it. And then, you know, getting the marketing, you're going to hear that propeller go a little bit, but it's not going to start. And then getting that hiring, that propeller's going. But guess what? You know, when you're cranking a lawnmower and you hear that little, wait a minute, that's different. You know, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Like, wait a minute, that sounds a little bit different. All right, I can keep going now. And then there's going to be a time, bro, where you pull that sucker and that thing just fires up and you're like, wow. Like, that is what I'm hoping for you. That is the excitement that gets me on this freaking podcast to share with everyone, because I figured it out. And now I have a beautiful business with 12 employees. I can give opportunity to people, plug them right into the system. Customers are calling me, telling me they can't wait to give us more work. Our guys are working hard. They haven't stopped working all day after their break, of course. And I'm not even there.
Sure. Right.
I'm sitting here.
Right. Talking to me.
Talking to you. Why?
Still getting it done, man.
Because I believe in investing in people. I believe in the process. I believe in culture. I believe in being a fair boss. I believe in you know, doing what I need to do to put my people in the best position as possible. And there's a mutual appreciation between both me and the team. Yeah, and man. That's where I see you to be.
I love it. That's what I need. Yeah. So we're gonna make it happen.
Make it happen. I'm going to give you my hiring course so you can kind of refine some of the processes through there. It's like a 4-step course. I'll send you a link.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
So you could kick it off, man. And good luck, man. Good luck.
Thank you. I'm ready to run, Tanner.
Was this helpful, man?
Absolutely, man. So I mean, we stay in touch, and I'll keep following you.
Absolutely.
Keep doing the good work for all of us out there, man.
I sure will. I'm going to send you an email after here with some information about that hiring course. All right.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
All right, my friend. Good luck with everything.
Have a good one.
You too.